Hi, everybody. We're Matadors Incorporated, and we're going to be presenting you Atlassian Sales. My name is Simon Belts.
My name is Javier Martinez.
My name is Vicky Samuel.
And my name is Andrew Vega.
My name is Jacqueline Gonzalez, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on our summary. Next slide. So Atlassian is a computer software company that gives companies a project management tool meant to be more efficient than its competitors. At first, Mike and Scott were a little bit undecided on what they wanted their product to be, but they did know that they wanted it to be revolving around a software developing team. Through experimentation, they were able to create a custom bug tracking tool to help address issues in their code. That eventually grew into a fully developed issue tracker that was named JIRA. The product is a bug tracking, issue tracking, and project management tool for development teams that leverage the agile methodology. According to the case study, JIRA allowed for developers to create user stories, issues, plant spirits, and distribute tasks across the team. This method allows teams to develop software by breaking it down into smaller parts instead of turning it all in the end as a whole, which allows them to develop their product effectively and efficiently. JIRA allows a software that has a capability to have real-time data in order for teams to improve their performance levels within 2-week cycles. Next slide. JIRA enables development teams to build their own shipping product workflows. The product was designed to keep everyone on the production team up to date on what was going on. JIRA served as a coordination and preparation tool for developers. Part of the coordination and preparation tool for developers included plan, track, release, and report. When it comes to plan, developers should write user stories and problems, schedule sprints, and assign tasks to their teammates. Then for track, teams could prioritize and discuss the group work in real time with full transparency. After track comes release, in which JIRA double checks that all relevant data corresponded to the most recent version of the program. Lastly, report, where using real-time data, teams may improve their results. The first version of JIRA was released in April 2002 through the Atlassian website. The one factor that stood out for Atlassian was their no-touch sales policy. Next slide, please. Atlassian sold their product originally by reaching out to businesses, giving discounts to academic institutions, and offering free services to nonprofit organizations. The discounts and free services were vital to Atlassian's early success because it was provided a large amount of word-of-mouth marketing. As Atlassian grew, the no-touch policy needed to be upgraded. Next slide, please. Over time, Atlassian brought in advocates to be extra resource for customers to be able to reach someone if they needed. Advocates had the responsibility of educating consumers on the software and the benefits that come with it. Advocates would provide information as to what their product can do for their company, the total cost of ownership, how they compare to competitors, and other factors. Essentially, they served more as a customer service representation than they did as sales representatives. In addition to these advocates, Atlassian formed channel partners. These were associates who did not work for the company, but served as a resource to customers who needed assistance with the software. The founders and their young management team claimed that launching Confluence as a second product would give more credibility to their plan, which combined low-cost internet marketing through the AdWords with a no-contact online distributing system. By 2006, the Atlassian Management Committee had agreed to formalize the small team of employees tasked with assisting prospective Atlassian customers in their evaluation of the company's products. In March, Atlassian announced the launch of its customer advocacy program, which will assist consumers in getting the most out of any encounter with the company. The consumer advocacy team remained largely the same size and retained the same roles as the company expanded and added new products. As the number of customer inquiries rose, so did the changes in customer self-service and automation to streamline the process for the new prospects. As a result, Atlassian's strategy focused on lowering what the number of questions that potential customers had to ask. Simons and his team were adamant that the business should be built on self-service. Customers hated the process of asking questions about a product than waiting for a salesperson to reply, he said, and would rather have the response given in the easiest and quickest way possible. Next, Vicky will go ahead and continue the summary.
So partners were given a 25% discount on Atlassian products, which allowed them to develop their own customizations of Atlassian products for their own business development needs. This allowed Atlassian to essentially have some free marketing. They experimented with innovative ways for consumer advocates to communicate with potential clients in the conversion funnel on a regular basis. Simons and his team were interested to see if it would yield better results if they offered engagement opportunities to specific consumer groups or at specific points in the sales funnel. Atlassian kept looking for more creative ways to sell, including opening a data center as the company grew. This allowed clients to use the software on more than one server and benefited valuable customers, which resulted in the creation of the enterprise advocacy team. By 2006, Atlassian had changed its pricing model from a single $800 price to a wider collection of user tiers that started at 10 users and went up to an $8,000 license for over 100 users. During the 2008 economic crisis, Atlassian looked into their pricing strategy in order to see if they needed to adjust it according to the economic climate. They lowered the price to encourage smaller teams to try their product while introducing user levels to extract more value from big customers at the same time. Atlassian was able to achieve this by increasing the maximum number of users at each stage. Enterprise licensing agreements opened up as data center offerings became more successful. Licensing agreements had to be negotiated. With so many consumers already in the network, it sparked the idea to bring in actual salespeople due to the lack of actual sales skills from employees. In 2014, Atlassian launched a new product in order to support its largest customers' large-scale deployments. This allowed customers to actually deploy Atlassian products in their own data centers across several physical devices because of data center versions of Jira and Confluence. Previously, they were only able to install their products on a single server. This resulted in enterprise-oriented benefits that made it easier for businesses to scale up. Customers can remove single points of failure by running their applications on several servers inside the data center, enabling them to continue to operate even though one of them fails. Performance at scale made it easier by distributing the application across an entire data center. More capacity was generated and greater stability was given in the event of usage spikes. Instant scalability was the new design that enabled data center administrators to add capacity quickly and easily as the company's usage increased. And now I will pass it on to my next colleague.
So hi guys, I'll be talking about the no touch sales. So this was one of the problems that we thought that Atlassian had. So one of the problems that was the no touch sales was a comfortable position for Atlassian, and they didn't want to improve. So with this being said, they were comfortable with where they were at, and they didn't want to switch who they were. So they were known for the no touch sales company. So maybe that could have caused a problem within themselves, not wanting to move on to something else and keeping the same reputation that they had. So another problem that we discovered was they had difficult grabbing those sales over time as keeping the no touch sales policy. It became drastic, affecting the company itself. So they were not wanting to spend more money on innovation. That was another problem. So the lack of service options that they provided for their consumers to come and attract their services. And there was also a quote or a saying in the reading that Simon was debating whether the enterprise licensing agreement was a good thing for the company. So he still didn't want to innovate that into the company. So it caused a problem within it. Next slide, I'll be talking about the solutions. So again, the no touch sales. So this is a solution that we figured out. Innovating the whole company, bringing the sales. Either way, expanding it, making it bigger, making their brand a whole new target, implementing the new excitement to the company, bringing in something the consumers didn't know that the company had. Always brings in a new touch to the whole company. Improving the marketing of the company, maybe partnering with a different type of company, targeting more consumers to make that branding keep on going to a new level of targeting. Adding the salesman to make options for consumers. So not only do they have one option, but they have a new a new other option, repositioning. So repositioning the whole brand, maybe with the no touch sales, but including something else that attracts consumers with that phone call, with that sales grabbing, to start up those conversations and make it memorable for a consumer. And next, Simon will be talking about the second problem.
So the second problem is the lack of real sales reps. Atlassian was confident in their no-touch sales policy. They believed that the consumers preferred the self-service. They believed that having sales reps would also overflow their payroll. Atlassian offered new upgrades in hopes that customers would use them. However, over time, the upgrades become too complicated to learn over self-service, and it becomes more beneficial to have some sort of representative that you can physically reach out to. Atlassian brings in channel partners instead. They work as contractors and they help the clients understand all the upgrades. In return, the channel partners have access to discounts and software customizations that benefit them. Atlassian wants a growing network of customers, but it's not providing a real service that allows customer service to be a phone call away. Next slide. So the solutions to this issue, first off, Atlassian customers do deserve access to a real life service. It goes beyond sales reps, customer service reps as well, because as the software continues to grow, experienced negotiators that are familiar with the software must also be available, as Andrew talked about. Atlassian offers tiers on their software. In addition to that, they should offer tiers in their sales department as well. The earlier software a customer uses, the less experienced sales rep they need. The higher tier software they use, the more experienced sales or customer service rep they would need. Having a full sales staff increases the chances of better relationships with customers. And as we know, that leads to retention, which would help Atlassian build its network of customers. It would also help with some upsell opportunities. Salespeople of all departments should be paid on a combination plan. Having a set salary motivates them to constantly follow up as well as sell every single line of product, but a commission would motivate them to sell high volume and upsell when possible. Now I'm going to pass it off to Javier, who's going to go over the last issue.
So for the third problem we found in the case, we found that Atlassian doesn't have many strong partnerships to continue forward with. They had previously partnered with advocates and channel partners that led to growth and success of Atlassian products. The primary focus of these partnerships were to develop services that installed, configured, and customized Atlassian products. They also helped Atlassian effectively engage in international markets, such as in Germany, France, and Japan, as they helped introduce Atlassian products to potential customers. We believe these partnerships offer a glimpse of success, and Atlassian should focus on building strong partnerships in the long run, as it would be beneficial to build this trust with these relationships while also generating increased sales. In order to do so, Atlassian must identify the audience they're trying to target. Next slide. So for a solution for this issue, we believe Atlassian can begin offering their data center product to a larger target market instead of focusing on their larger customers. The data center was made it easier for customers to use Atlassian products on multiple servers without crashing. By making the data center more available, it can help increase the value of their Jira and Confluence products, therefore making it more attractive for consumers. Atlassian has shifted their price model on their data center from a perpetual license to subscription. We suggest Atlassian to change their price model for the rest of their products to subscription as well. According to data on Atlassian from Exhibit 3 from the case study, it shows the subscription model had earned more revenue, and the revenue growth rates have increased for every quarter in the years of 2015 and 2016 compared to the perpetual license model. Subscriptions can mean an increase in sales in the long run and gives Atlassian an incentive to work on maintaining these relationships strong. With a new sales approach, as previously mentioned, sales reps can be sent in order to make sure their partners are satisfied, and if there's anything that can be improved in order to make, if there's anything that can be improved in order to create trust within these relationships. Next slide. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, that was still 14.